According to progress. Okay, so we're going to do something a little bit different today. Normally, we go through a training class of different points, different topics, this and that, and, it's a little more interactive and things like that. Today's going to be a little bit different. So I wrote a speech, okay? Now, there will be still some interaction and things along those lines, but I sat down, I put pen to paper, and just kind of let the thoughts go through of things that I think can help us as salespeople, as managers, coaches, brokers, team members, staff members, whatever the case may be. Looking at things like opportunities that we have here in real estate, opportunities we have here within this country, excuses that we might come up with, different mindset issues that we come up with, and things that we have to look at. Some of what I'm going to say today is going to connect with some of you. That's going to happen. Some of what I'm going to say today is probably going to annoy some of you, because I might say something where you might go, yeah, Robert, that's a good point, but you don't know me. You don't know what I'm going through. So that point that you made doesn't connect with me. And that's fine. I'm not trying to, nothing that I say today, and you'll see when we go through this, there's a couple of things where I'm gonna be like, that's just a lame excuse. No way am I trying to ever make anyone feel bad or call out anything that you're going through, because I understand everyone's going through different stuff. Okay. But there might be some things that kind of do that. There might be some things that connect with you, like from an emotional level. I'm telling you, when I wrote some of this stuff out, and you'll understand as I go through it, there was some of the stuff that, man, like it really hit me from an emotional standpoint of what I'm going through in my mindset and things like that. But my goal of today is to go through just things that I really feel from a passionate standpoint, that we have to look at stuff from a different perspective. We have to be honest with ourselves of maybe the excuses we're making or the actions we're taking or not taking in what we want to accomplish, whether it's in real estate, personal relationships, life, anything along those lines. So my hope is in the next 30 minutes that I say something that connects with you. And it's like, wow, that was good. And if it doesn't connect with you, hopefully it was entertaining and got you through lunch. And in worst case scenario, I irritate you to no end and you never come back. Okay. That would be worst case scenario. So hopefully that's not what happens. Okay. But I just want to get you understand where I'm coming from. I put pen to paper and this is what came out. So let's go ahead and get started. So I wanted to start with this particular speech in regards to opportunity. Opportunity. And we're going to cover a couple different things here. But here's what I mean by opportunity. Right now, we're in a situation in real estate where there's less transactions in most of our markets. Okay. The prices in some of our markets are slowing down. There's things going on outside of real estate. The stock markets are going up and down. Okay. Unemployment goes up and down. Gas prices are high, then they might be lower. Okay. There's different political things going on. There's all kinds of stuff that's always going on that might affect what we look at as opportunities in what we can accomplish here today and as we move forward. And what I want to start with is this. You here today, no matter what's going on, have an opportunity to do something absolutely magical with your life. Okay. Now, here's what I mean. Let's start from where you are at in your current stage in terms of location. I don't hide from the fact that the country we live in has some problems. I don't hide from that fact. There are certainly issues as a country that we have to come to grips with. I get that. However, I'm also not blind to the fact that people are willing to die to come here. People are willing to face gunfire, are willing to face helicopters, are willing to sleep in caves, are willing to try to go through tunnels and over fences and pay money and, you know, hide in cars and do all these other different things, swim with sharks and all this stuff. They're willing to do all those things to come here. So from a mindset perspective, one of the very first things that I think is really important for us in terms of opportunity is accept the fact that, yes, we have problems, but let me tell you something, you still have a wonderful opportunity based on being here in the United States, North America, wherever you may be. So take a side, and a reason I started with that when I was writing this stuff out is because I feel like anytime I turn on anything, it's about problems. Oh, this and this and this and that. And yeah, we have problems, but man, the opportunity is so amazing of what you have here. People want to come here because it's an opportunity to make money. People want to come here because it's an opportunity for freedom. You know what? There's a lot of other countries where, you know, not everyone gets a right to vote still. There's a lot of other countries where you can't make the money you have here. So take out the political aspects from your mind. I already lost one person. That was fast. Take out the political aspects from your mind. Take out the whatever, this country this country that, this city this city that. Take all that out of your mind and just accept the fact that people are willing to die to come here and look at the opportunity that you have in front of you. Now, for those of you that are from Southern California, you have an even bigger opportunity because no one's trying to get through gunfire to get to Topeka, Kansas. That's not why they're willing to die to come here. They're willing to die to come here because they want to come to LA. They want to come to Orange County. They want to go to New York. They want to go to Miami. That's where they want to go. Why? Because this is such a wonderful place to be. Oh, Robert, it's so expensive. Yeah, it is, for a reason. There's traffic for a reason. Smog, yeah, so what? And yet people want to come here because the opportunity is so amazing. So get off the fact of any problems that might be within your city, your community, and accept the fact that you have a wonderful opportunity here. I wrote this down here in terms of this, on this particular thought. You have no excuse if you're already here to not have a great life. I put this down for myself. I was born white, male, middle class, American in California with no mental or physical disabilities, all jokes aside. If at the end of the road, my life sucks, that's on me. Because the truth is, I was handed an opportunity like, dude, I gave you the most amazing opportunity based on how you were born. If I screw this up, that's on me. That's no one else's fault. It's no one else's fault if I'm broke. It's no one else's fault if I can't close a deal. It's no one else's fault if I'm living in a terrible place. And you have to accept the same mindset. Now, maybe some of you weren't born here, right? But you're here now. So it's really important to start, before we move on to anything else, that we have to accept the fact that this is a wonderful place to be and get rid of all the noise, the politics, the stuff about the cities, the stuff about the country. Yeah, there's problems, but man, don't lose sight of the opportunity you have to be here. It's a very important aspect that you have to remember. And don't make the excuses of a language barrier. Don't make the excuses of, oh, I'm female, I'm male. Okay, don't make the excuses of anything else, because when you break it down into real estate, I know agents that English is like their third or fourth language that make $1 million a year. And let me tell you something, in some other industries, there is still a wage gap between men and women. In real estate, there's no wage gap between men and women. So you can't, there's no excuse there. As a matter of fact, in our company, the women kick the men's asses for the most part in terms of money. So I can't use that excuse. So no excuses based on the opportunity of where you currently at in terms of where you live, things along those lines. I get this question all the time, right? Robert, you're so happy all the time. Given everything that's going on in the world, how are you so happy all the time? I get that question all the time. And let me tell you something, it's not fake. That smile on my face, that's real every day. I don't turn it on because I'm on Zoom. I'm off Zoom, that smile still stays. You want to know why? Because of all the problems, and people love to talk smack about Los Angeles, right? Anywhere outside of LA, people love to talk smack about LA. There's not a place in the world I'd rather live. I've been around the world. I've lived in a lot of different places. I've traveled to a lot of different places, and there is nowhere in the world I would rather live than Los Angeles. Not a single place, not even for a week. I love it here. So the fact that I get to wake up in the city that I want to live in every day puts a smile on my face. The fact that I'm married to an amazing woman puts a smile on my face. The fact that I have 3 dogs that love me puts a smile on my face. The fact that I now have an 8-month daughter puts a smile on my face. See, some of you have those same things going on, but you focus on the negative. You get up and go, oh God, traffic. Oh God, so expensive. Oh God, gas prices. I'm dealing with the same thing. Why am I happier and more energetic? It's just a different mindset. Some of you need to look at the brighter side of life, right? That's a song. But you're focused too much on the negative things. And one of the reasons you're focused too much on the negative things is because you spend too much time on social media. 90% of people on social media are negative. And all they do is bitch and complain all day. And yet, they're my neighbors. So why is my neighbor, who should be living a really good, positive life, why are they so upset? And I'm so happy. You're letting too much of that negative stuff get to you. I wrote down here next, in terms of the opportunity you have here, you got to follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. It is my opinion. This is my opinion. There's obviously no way to prove this to be a fact. But the way my mind works is my opinion that it is everybody's birthright to be a millionaire. It is everybody's birthright to be a millionaire. Now, some people are born millionaires. Some people get lucky. They win the lotto. What was the Mega Millions like a week ago? It was like $1 billion. Some people get lucky. Most people have to work for it, but it is your birthright to be a millionaire. And the reason there are so many multimillionaires is because so many people gave up their birthright to be a millionaire. So you gave up your birthright to be a millionaire. So then this person goes, great, I'll take your million. Now I'm a multimillionaire. You gave it up. Great. I'll take your million. Now I'm a multimillionaire. But it's everybody's right to be a millionaire. You just have to maybe go get it. You just have to do the work. But it's right in front of you. You have the map. You have the road map. You have the plan. You know what it takes to get there because you've seen it with so many people. Whatever you want to do, whether it's in real estate or you want to be an investor, you want to do financing, you want residual income, whatever it may be, there's people that have already given you the map. You just have to follow it. And the opportunity was given to you because, again, unless you have any mental or physical disabilities, there's nothing holding you back from being that millionaire. It's just a matter of, do we want to take the steps? But here's where my mind goes, okay? Now, I'm not a highly religious person, but here's where my mind goes in terms of that thought process on my birthright to be a millionaire. I would never want at the end of the road, right? At the end of the road, I live my life, and I get to that point where, I'm at that gate. If you believe in heaven or hell, whatever the case may be, just stay with me whether you believe it or not. I'm at that gate, right? And they say, hey, look, Robert, we're going to let you in. But before I let you in, I have a question for you. Sure, what's that? Why didn't you take me up on my offer? What do you mean? Well, when you were created, it was your birthright to be a millionaire. I didn't give you any mental disabilities. I gave you no physical disabilities. I put you in a place where there was millions to be made. I surrounded you with people who were also doing it. I mean, I gave you every opportunity and you passed on my offer. You decided not to do it. I'm just curious why. I would never want to have that conversation at the end because then they look at me and say, if I knew you weren't going to take my offer, I would have given it to somebody else. I would have given that offer to someone else. If I knew you weren't going to take me up on it, I gave you everything. Why didn't you take me up on my offer? That's a question I would never want to have. That's a conversation I would never want to have. If at the end of the road, say, man, why didn't you just take me up? I gave it to you. See, it's a mindset thing where that conversation in my mind would happen if I didn't take advantage of the opportunity and say, I'm going to go get my million. I'm going to go get my money. I'm going to take advantage of the opportunities I have in front of me. Because I would never want to have that conversation at the very end of the road. And man, why didn't you take me up on this offer that I gave you? Because the truth is, there are a lot of people out there that do have mental or physical disabilities that don't have the same opportunities that I do. And it's like, man, if I waste my opportunity and I don't take advantage of it, then it's like, man, these people had mental or physical disabilities. They didn't have a chance. I had a chance and I just wasted it. Man, I would just, the way my mind works, I would never want to have that conversation. I would never let that go through my mind. So I have to take advantage of every opportunity I have to go out there and be that millionaire. I wrote down here on follow your dreams. Some of you might remember the show American Gladiators, show from the 80s and 90s, right? Where it's like you're standing over here and you have to get over there, right? You have to get to there. Now, I could see it. I just have to get there. But in between here and there, there's a bunch of obstacles. There's a ball pit. There's some bags you got to run around. And then even when you get around the bags, there's some like giant dude named Blade that tries to tackle you. And then there's some like fit person named Laser who tries to take your legs out, right? And you're just trying to get to the end and they're doing everything they can to prevent you. How many times have you felt that way trying to accomplish your goals? Where it's like, man, I could see it. I know I want to get there. I could see it, but it seems like everything keeps hitting me. Everything keeps hitting me. I'm telling you, you have to live your life the way that it was like American Gladiators. It's never going to be a straight line to the dream. It's never going to be a straight line to the goal. But you cannot give up on it. You can see it. It's right there. Every single one of you, whatever your goal is, it's right there. Robert, I want a mega yacht. It's right there. It's right in the harbor. Now, to get there, you're gonna have to battle some people trying to take your legs out, negative people. You're gonna have to battle life, which is gonna hit you from side to side. And that's gonna happen all the time, but you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. The dream is there. Don't ever let anyone take you off track. No matter their size, their power, what it is, you always have to keep looking at the end game. Because people will try to do it. Things will try to do it. Life will get hard. Life will get in your way. Don't ever lose focus on that dream, that end goal. Because the problem is, once you do, that's when they take you out for good. And then you live the rest of your life in that middle area where you're just constantly getting beat up. You're constantly getting cut. Because now you're turned around. You're not even facing the goals. You're not even facing your dreams anymore. You're now turned around. And you don't even know which way you're getting hit. Now, I'm saying that to you, and I want you to know that that's really hard to do. I'm not saying this going, well, Robert, you make this sound so simple. No, I get it. It's hard. And trust me, I've had plenty of things hit me on the way too. And I've gotten turned around before. Okay. Some of you don't know that I moved to New York when I was 24 years old. Why? Because I was in a rut in life. I had no money. Mentally, I was beat up. I was a wreck. And so the most logical thing I thought I could do was just move to New York City because that seems logical. But that's what I did. So I went through some stuff too, right? But you have to keep going. You have to keep fighting, keep that dream going. That's part of the gig. Now, I wrote down here next, as part of that, one of the most important things we need to do is we need to protect our minds. Because mindset is the most important thing when it comes to accomplishing anything. If it's not working here, it won't work here. If the mind's not working, the body won't work either. So the mind is the most important thing to do. Okay. So it's vitally important that we protect our minds. Now, let me ask, here's something to think about. Here's something to think about when it comes to protecting our minds, protecting the negativity, keeping that stuff out. We have alarms for everything. We have a lock for everything. If you have jewelry in the house, there's a lock on it. You have a house, There's an alarm on it. Your car has alarms. We have locks for our stinky gym clothes when we go to the gym. We have locks and alarms for everything except for our minds. We'll let anyone break into that. We'll let anyone break in here. Don't take my gym shorts. Don't do that. Here, do whatever you want. Why? Why don't we have alarms here? Why don't we have locks here? We're essentially saying we value the cars and the jewelry more than our minds. Don't take my car. Don't take my watch. Let me tell you something. I can get another car. There's plenty of them out there. I can get another car. I can get another watch. I can go anywhere and get another watch. I can't get another mind. You take my car? Okay, I'll go get one. You take my watch? I'll go get one. I don't have more than one of these. This is the only one I have. I need to make this the most secure security system that works in the world. This right here, not the car, not the watch or the jewelry. This needs to be the most secure security system. Because if this gets broken into, you break into my car, you take my car, I lost the car. You break into here, I lost my dreams. I lost my goals. I lost a possibility of a really amazing life because you break into here and man, that's when the real wreck starts to happen. Don't let people break into your mind. Get the security system here, not out there. This is where it's at. You only get one of these. You only get one of these. Don't let anyone break into it. Don't let negativity break into it. Don't let doubters break into it. Don't let haters break into it. None of that stuff. This is where it's at. This is where you need the alarm system that says, nope, sorry, rejected. Nope, sorry, rejected. Because if I'm okay up here, I'll get as many cars as I want. If I'm okay up here, I'll get as many watches as I want. Figure out the security system up here, not out there. That's more important than anything else. So we go through this stuff, right? And we say, okay, Robert, sorry, so you're talking about opportunity. You're talking about following your dreams. You're talking about alarms and security system, protecting your mind. You're talking about all these opportunities and wonderful things that we have. But I wrote down two buts. Two buts that cause the biggest problems, at least in my mind, that I hear all the time. I'm tired. I'm tired. If to do this, I have to get up at this time. I got to start at this time. I'm tired. Let me tell you something. You tell me you're tired, that is the lamest excuse anyone could ever tell me. Lamest. I get up at 3:30 every day. 3:30 every day, Monday through Friday. Sleep in on Saturday and Sunday. I get up at 5:30. Every day at 3:30. Do I seem tired? Do I seem low energy? Do I seem like I don't have passion for what I'm doing? So I did the math on this. For some of you that say I'm tired. Okay. If I get up at 3:30, that means chances are most people are sleeping 2 to 3 hours more per day than I am. Now let's just do that 5 days a week, not 7. 2 hours more a day is 10 hours of sleep more per week. 52 weeks a year means that's 520 hours more of sleep. And I've been doing this for years. So let's say 10 years, you've gotten 5,200 more hours of sleep than I am. Don't tell me you're tired. Wrong guy. Wrong guy. It's not about being tired. It's the fact that you've prioritized sleep over your goals. You've prioritized sleep over spending time with the kids. You've prioritized sleep, spending time with the family, the dogs. You've prioritized sleep than doing affirmations. You've prioritized sleep than doing what's most important to you. You've decided that sleep is your number one thing. Well, I need my sleep to have energy. That's crap. Clearly, I've proven that to be wrong. And I'm not saying, wow, Robert, look how great I am, because there's a lot of people that prove that to be wrong. Mike Ferry gets up at 4 o'clock. Neil gets up at 5:03. Some of you get up at 4:30, 3 o'clock. So I'm not the only one on the screen. But for some of you, it's like, oh my gosh, Robert, how do you get up at 3:30? Well, it's very complicated. I set my alarm, and when the alarm goes off, I get up. Very, very complicated system I have. Well, why do you get up at 3:30? Because I get up at 3:30 because by time 7:30 comes around, I've worked out. I've spent time with my dogs. I spent time with my daughter. I've had breakfast. I've written down some thoughts for the day, and I haven't been rushed. 7:30 comes around, man, I've already had a hell of a day. If my day ended at 7:30, it'd be a hell of a day. And I would rather do all those things than sleep. Some of you say you have goals and you want to accomplish things, but you won't get up early enough to do it. And you say it's because you're tired. No, you haven't prioritized your things. You've prioritized sleep over everything else. It's not about being tired. It's not about being energetic or anything like that. You just haven't decided what's more important than sleep. That's just the way it goes. So you need to have a real honest conversation with yourself in terms of, oh, I'm tired. I need to get up earlier. I need to do that. Then do it. And if you're not doing it, it's simply because you don't have a strong enough connection with what you want to accomplish. But it's not a tired thing. It's not an energy thing. It's simply a mindset thing that you haven't made that connection yet. The second excuse is, well, Robert, I have kids. I have kids, so therefore I can't do all these things because I have kids. Do you have any idea when you say things like that, how demeaning that is to your kids? I want you to think about that for those of you that ever used your kids as an excuse. You're essentially telling your kids that I could be more, but because of you, I'm not. Whoa! Man, I could be more, but because of you, I'm not. That's what you're saying when you make the excuse that you can't do XXX next because of your kids. Man, would you ever tell your kids that? No, of course not. But you're telling that to me. You're telling that to whoever. I can't do this because of my kids. I wrote this down here. Use your kids as motivation, not excuses. Your kids should be the reason you get up early. Your kids should be the reason you make more contacts. Your kids should be the reason you follow your dreams and follow your goals. Because I assume anyone that has kids, the goal is always to make sure they have a better life than you did, no matter how great your life was. Let me tell you something. My life's pretty good. But God damn it, my daughter's life is going to be better than mine. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now that means instead of living close to the beach, she's going to live on the water. Okay. Well, whatever the case may be, that means she's never going to have a student loan. Never. Wherever school she wants to go to, here's the check. Doesn't matter. It means when she's old enough, if she does what she's supposed to do, there's going to be a house waiting for her instead of trying to be struggles of a first-time home buyer. So you use your kids as motivation, not excuses. Now, I get it. It's hard. You got to pick the kids up. You got to drop them off, but work around it. Figure it out. You know, I got an 8-month-old daughter, and I got to work every day. Amber's got to work every day, but somebody's got to take care of Cambria. Well, guess what? We got to pay the bill. Well, how much is the nanny? It's a full salary, you know, $6,000-$7,000 a month. You know, you got to pay it because I got to be here to make sure that she gets everything else that she wants. Don't use your kids as excuses. They should be your motivation to do things. But think about this too. Every day you go to work. Here's the biggest mindset I have changed with my daughter, okay, who's now 8 months, Cambria. My daughter, when I go to work, even when I'm at home, I go to work. I go to my office. I'm at work. Okay. I'm not walking around the house. I'm not hanging out. I'm here. I'm here. You obviously see me. I'm on Zoom all day. Okay. Like I'm here. And sometimes I go to the office. Sometimes I'm here. My daughter wants to be with mom and dad. So when I walk away and I go to the office, even though she's only 8 months old, she's following me, right? Where are you going, Dad? Where are you going? Where are you going? We want to play. She does the same thing with Amber. Where are you going? Where are you going? We're going. She wants to be with Mom and Dad. I couldn't fathom the idea that my daughter who wants to spend time with me, I'm walking away from her and I do a half-assed day at work. Like that's like soul crushing to me to think that I'm walking away from an 8-month-old who wants to be with me just so I can give a half-assed day. And some people, like, you have kids and you're walking away from your kids every day, and then you go to work and you make 0 contacts. You don't role play, you don't preview property, and then you go home and your kid is excited to see you because you've been gone for 8, 9, 10 hours. Could you imagine if your kid came up to you and said, oh my gosh, you were gone for 8, 9, 10 hours. You must have had a really good reason because we could have stayed here and played all day. What'd you do? What'd you do, Dad? What'd you do all day? Oh, well, I gave a half-ass effort on some of my coaching calls. I didn't do any recruiting calls. My sales meeting came up and I was just kind of like, give it a little bit of a weak-ass effort. My daughter would look at me. She can't talk, but she would look at me as if like, well, why didn't you just stay home and play with me all day? If that's all you were going to do when you left me for 9, 10 hours, why didn't you just stay home and play with me? Essentially, I'm looking at her as, well, I just needed a break. Again, imagine telling your kid that. Well, I left for 9, 10 hours because I wanted to get away from you. Because I certainly didn't get away from you to go to work if I gave a half-assed day. No way, man. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. One of the biggest changes it made me with my daughters, like, there's no way I could leave her for that amount of time and give a half-assed effort. And I appreciate, Tim said earlier, said, Robert, when you're here, man, you bring it every day. Yeah, you're goddamn right I do, because if I'm not going to, then I'll just stay home and play with her. If I'm not going to bring it every day, I'll spend time with her. I'll spend time with my wife. I'll spend time with my dogs. I got people I love and things I love. If I'm going to leave for 8, 9, 10 hours, you bet your ass you're getting me every day. The best of me, the energy, the enthusiasm every single day. And for some people, they don't do that every day. They walk away from the kids. Don't do that. Your kids should be your motivation. For those of you that have kids, that should be your motivation to go out there and do the work every single day. Not the excuse for why you can't. I wrote this down here as we wrap this up. We went through a lot, okay? Opportunities, dreams, excuses, things like that. And some of you are really pissed at me right now, and that's okay. And some of you might be like, wow, that was good, Robert. That's good stuff. I get it. Okay. And that's fine too. It's vitally important that you understand that I know life is really hard. Life is really hard. Making money in life is really hard. Raising kids in life is really hard. That is true. Life is really, really hard, complicating, frustrating, irritating, annoying, all those things. But more importantly than that, life is fun, life is exciting, and life is magical. And those fun, exciting, and magical moments, as small as they may be sometimes, are so much more powerful than the hard stuff. So don't focus on the hard stuff. That's going to be there anyways. Everyone knows it's hard. Focus on the exciting stuff, the magical stuff, the fun stuff. So when somebody tells you a joke, laugh. When somebody says, I love you, say, I love you back. When somebody gives you a compliment, say, thank you. When somebody says, have a great day, say, you too. And every day, every morning, when you wake up and realize that you have another day of life, smile. And when you're down in the dumps, which we've all been, don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. Don't lose the will to keep going. Because as Zig Ziglar said, you were designed for greatness. And if today isn't your day, that means tomorrow your star will shine the brightest. That's all I got. Thank you so much. Hopefully there was 1 or 2 things in there that were impactful for you.